Hi, I'm Mike Caldwell with United Way, and I manage the planned giving piece of United Way, and I'd like to welcome Greg Pemberton with us today. And Greg and his wife just recently committed to a planned gift with United Way through our United Way Life program. And Greg is going to talk a little bit about that with us today as to the benefits that him and his wife see with this program. But Greg, before you do that, just kind of give us a recap real quick of your involvement with United Way, when it started and why.
Well, Mike, I started as a volunteer with United Way back in the 80s, so it's been many years. Started in a variety of contexts, but generally with public policy. We were trying to change people's idea about what was good for government to help the private sector and the role that United Way could play in that process. Moved on to that to more of an educational role. I actually taught a class for a number of years about being a better board leader and what one does to fill that role and those responsibilities. And then finally moved into governance, and I've been on the board of not only the former Community Service Council, but on the United Way board for many years and chaired one of the substantive committees as well.
Well, good. Thank you for your involvement. You know, as I mentioned, you and your wife about 2 years ago decided to leave a legacy gift with United Way through our United Way Life program. And, you know, if you could elaborate a little bit on, I know it's, you know, you pay premiums for 5 years. It's a irrevocable gift to United Way, which is great. But what was it that was appealing to you and your wife about that program that you wanted to pursue it?
Well, let me answer that in a couple of ways, Mike. First, it's for any donor, it's a way to leave a lasting legacy. So much of what we do is on an annual basis. What's your annual gift? Can you do a little more this year than last year? That sort of thing. But this is a totally different kettle of fish. It's you're doing something currently, providing some sort of gift, but it's giving much more completely in a larger scale later in the future. And so that's very appealing. Is appealing to my wife and I. But to specific donors, this particular product, if you're on the younger scale of an involved United Way person, it's a marvelous way to leverage your current gift because your premium can be matched. That premium can do, let's face it, a younger person can get life insurance a whole lot cheaper than somebody a little more mature. And so it's a great way to make a current gift that can really pay off for United Way in the long term.
You know, one of the things that I found myself saying when we talk about this program is that rather than insurance, I look at it as an investment. Right. And because it is an insurance policy, but it's not a policy for you and your wife or your family.
Right.
It's really a policy for United Way. And, you know, we've talked a little bit about, you know, how this can be appealing to the younger donors because the premiums are a little bit more affordable. You know, we have had several younger people that have been interested in this program. We've also had the more seasoned, like you and I, that have had some interest. But if you could speak a little bit to the more mature audience as to maybe how they could look at this and how they could fund it.
One opportunity is with appreciated securities. Let me give you an example. You know, many years ago, 20 years ago, you bought a stock for $10. Well, now the markets say it's worth $100. Well, you can make a gift with that stock, now worth $100, and never pay tax on the difference between that $10 and the $100 that you're paying. Right. But you get the full deduction for that $100 today because that's what the tax code lets you do. So if you have that kind of security in your portfolio, this is a great way to support United Way and, hey, let the tax system help you do it. In a leveraged way.
Well, and I think, you know, in looking at it that way, a gift of appreciated assets is really a less expensive way to give than cash.
No question. No question. If our tax advisors were here, they'd say,
Amen.
Yes. That's right.
Well, United Way, about 7 or 8 years ago, really started taking the planned giving piece, you know, of our organization really serious. And, you know, we really appreciate, you know, what you and Robin have done. But why, in your words, why would you think leaving a legacy gift outside of the fact that it can endow their annual gift forever? But why would you like to see more people interested in this process?
It's a way to validate the long-term support of someone like us. We saw the value of United Way and have for many years. We wrote the check on a current basis. This is a way to make a gift that provides the kind of benefit to United Way years in advance, not now, but much later. It provides benefits for the children, for the grandchildren of our friends and family, for this community, and it's a unique way to do it. Some of the planned giving folks in your world, Mike, they talk about, oh, this put us in your will or put us in your trust. Well, this is a way you can make a current gift, write a check today, provide a irrevocable gift that's going to pay off in the same way as if it was some sort of flashy charitable gift, testamentary sort of gift.
Right.
But you write the check today, it's available for United Way long term.
Long term. Well, I mean, we try to do the best job that we can, and I think we do a really great job of taking care of the needs that are in the community today. But we both know that those needs are going to continue into the future, and maybe needs that we're not even aware of today.
Absolutely.
And but through legacy gifts, you know, we know that there will always be resources available, you know, for whatever those needs might be at the time. So.
And you've really hit on it, Mike. That's the exact reason to make this kind of gift. We don't know what those needs are going to be years in advance.
Right.
If we knew, we'd solve them today, but none of us are probably smart enough to be able to do it. So why not provide a pool of resources that can provide to those needs generations in the future? And hey, that you feel good about, as a donor, you feel really good about being able to help in that process.
Well, I've always felt if somebody was willing to help fund an organization while they're alive, why would you want to stop them?
That's right.
So, Greg, thank you very much for coming in today. Appreciate your comments and your help and your support.
Appreciate all that you do, Mike.